Hello and welcome to another edition of 10 Count for UCN Live. I'm Michael Montero, here at Hollywood Smoke, joined by Mr. Doug Fischer of Ring TV and the sports god, Mr. Dave Smith of NBC Sports Radio. Guys, let's talk about Matthysse Provodnikov. This is a can't-miss fight of the year candidate this Saturday night in Verona, New York. How do you guys see this one turning out?
Oh my God! I mean, I cannot envision this fight not delivering knockdowns, sustained action, power punching, blood, tears, guts, ebbs and flows, back and forth momentum. You have, I can't conceive it not being all action because you have a ridiculously tough, pure pressure fighter with knockout power in Ruslan Provodnikov against a boxer puncher who was more puncher than boxer in Luca Matthysse, who's also been dropped a few times. He does not have an iron chin, which adds to the drama. The only way I can see this fight, I can even possibly conceive this fight not living up to its expectations, is if there's an early knockout. That's the only way. If Provo comes in there and just clips Matthysse with the left hook and knocks him out cold in the first round, that would be disappointing. It would still be exciting for that one moment. You'd still be like, whoa, is it, you know? But if the fight ended that quickly, that's the only way I can see the fight disappointing. But I think, like most hardcore fight fans believe, this is the recipe for a battle of attrition.
I think he described it perfectly right there. I'm looking forward to this more than I am Mayweather Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah.
For the boxing purists, this is about as good as it gets right here. And Provodnikov needs a win after that Algeria loss. So we talked about Chavez maybe falling out of relevancy a little bit if he loses this fight coming up. Could we say the same about Provodnikov if he loses this one coming off the Algeria loss? So this is going to be an absolutely great fight. You get a sense of desperation maybe with Provodnikov needing a win here and Matthysse being an exciting fighter. This is can't miss. This thing is going to be an absolutely great fight.
You know what I really like about this fight? And we always talk about an A side and a B side in boxing, a house fighter and the visiting fighter.
There's no A side.
I don't know who's the A side in this. Is it Matthysse? Is it Provodnikov? No, it's they're fighting in neutral territory, and I don't think either guy has the edge in momentum, in marketability, in terms of their fan appeal. I mean, they are what they are. They are exciting fighters, guys who have been around for a minute. They aren't guys who were, exceptional amateurs. It's not like they're Olympians where people knew about them before they turned pro. These are guys who had to earn their place in boxing, and they're fighting to keep that place, or they're fighting to make that next step, to step to the next level, and that's exactly what will happen. But of course, the great thing with wars like Gotti Ward type wars or
Castillo-Corrales.
Right, Castillo-Corales.
This has that feeling.
It doesn't matter. There really isn't a winner or a loser to that. It elevates both fighters, and I'm hoping for a Corrales Castillo type fight. I kind of look at Provodnikov being the sturdy, come forward, plotting Castillo, and Matthysse being the more dynamic boxer puncher that the late great Chico Corrales was. I'm hoping for that, even though, part of me will feel sad because those type of wars, the fighters are never the same afterwards.
Is it a letdown at all that this fight is in the middle of nowhere in New York? Because let's talk about this. It should have been here at the StubHub Center.
That would have been perfect,
right? And both of these guys, Provodnikov and Matthysse, had fights of the year at StubHub Center. Right. To me, this was a can't-miss sellout if it was here. But Al Heyman squatted on the date, and it went back and forth. It ends up in New York. It's probably going to be in front of a few thousand fans instead of 7,000 or 8,000 here at StubHub. Is that a letdown to you at all? Does that change how you feel about this one?
I'd love to go to the fight at StubHub Center here in LA, but still, it's as long as
the only difference it made, it was a letdown in that I'm not going to travel to Verona, New York. I'm
staying put. Man.
I love boxing, but the thing is, the fact of the matter is, the fight that wound up at StubHub Center is Chavez Fonfara, and being an editor, being a boxing writer and editor, it's easier for me to do my job from home where I can watch both fights on TV. Both fights are going to be good, but we all know that Provodnikov Matthysse is going to be truly explosive, truly special, truly exceptional. The The only letdown is that, yeah, more people couldn't be there to witness it live. But honestly, when I think of some of the greatest slugfest that I've ever seen, the first Barrera-Morales fight, that was at the Mandalay Bay in their event center, and they had to cut it in half. It was only in front of about 6,000 people and maybe 4,500, 5,000 paid to get in there. Same thing with Diego Corrales versus Jose Luis Castillo. Yeah. That was also at the Mandalay Bay. It was open to the entire arena, but they only had about 5,000 people there. Now, of course, the rematches were huge. They had, 12, 15,000 plus. But, this fight, if it's as good as we think it will be, there's going to be a rematch. Maybe if we're lucky, there's going to be a rubber match. And I guarantee you, the people who were involved with the fighters and this fight, and HBO especially, they're going to make sure it's going to be in a venue that can accommodate as many fans as possible.
And I think as long as the HD TVs are working and we got our ice cold ones in front of us and some snack food, I think it's going to be okay. I'd rather have it here. I'd love to be there, but I don't want to miss this great fight. So whether it's here or on television, and as you said, Doug, you don't know who the A or the B guy is. Could we
That's
say?
What I love.
Could we say maybe that Provodnikov is the A- and Matthysse is the A? Maybe neither one of them is an A or a B, or do you call them even?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, listen, Matthysse is coming off the fight of the year against John Molina, but John Molina is not really in Provodnikov's class, and he put Matthysse down twice.
Right.
So how solid is Matthysse coming into this fight? Yeah, Provodnikov got outboxed by Algieri, but he's a stick and move guy, and that was still controversial.
And that's what makes this so exciting, because it makes it so interesting. Matthysse wore down John Molina. Ruslan Provodnikov does not wear down. So, ladies and gentlemen, comment below. Let us know what you think, how you see this fight playing out. And follow us on Twitter at UCN Live. For Doug Fischer, Dave Smith, I'm Michael Montero. We'll see you next time on 10 Count.